you got so heated about the conversation we were having about Tyron Woodley versus Jake Paul that you wanted to do. Hey, let's talk about this.
Listen, I didn't get heated. I'm just like, hold up. I just
Now, look. I know you're trying to go for your boy Tyron Woodley.
That's my boy.
Right, but you got a lot. But listen, you have a lot of boxing people following Global Fight Talk.
Right.
So they're gonna come with. Look, Jake Paul may not be the greatest fighter, but he is fighting an MMA fighter who's not known for his hands.
Yes, he is.
In the boxing world, he's not known for his hands. Let me rephrase that. Yeah. So Jake Paul versus Tyron Woodley. A lot of people think that Tyron Woodley stands a chance with the Jake Paul, which I don't. Jake Paul is, he's decent. He's decent, but Tyron, he's too squared. He stands tall with his chin up in the air. He's strong, but that's about it. That's all I'm going to give him, Sav. That's all.
So we're not going to give him no hand speed. He slept Robbie Lawler in the first round. You don't remember that?
Okay, but listen. Okay. Come on, man.
You know Jake Paul's a better boxer than Robbie Lawler?
Yeah.
I don't understand where y'all getting this from, man.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Hold on, I'm moving now. So let me ask you this. There is just no way that Tyron's gonna beat Jake. Tell me how. What is he gonna use? Let's take away strength, right? Let's take away the power. Yes, it takes one shot to end a fight, but let's take away that power. What does Tyron Woodley bring to the ring that is going to hinder Jake Paul from a victorious win that night?
Composure. Experience.
Hold on. No. You can't say experience because this is his first boxing fight.
And Jake Paul has what, 2 against Ben Askren and Nate Robinson? That doesn't count.
Yes, it does. He has boxing. He has ring experience. He has ring experience.
So
let me tell you that there's a huge difference when you jump from the MMA from cage to a ring. You can ask any MMA fighter that has done both. There's MMA fighters that have boxed. There has MMA. They do both, and they will tell you it is a difference. Clarissa Shields even commented, it is different, and
100%. I feel like it is different, but I don't.
So in an MMA fight, Tyron Woodley is used to, if he's getting rocked or he got kicked or something, he could take him to the ground. He could hold him against the cage or whatever. In boxing, you can't do that. You just can't. If he gets rocked, there is no way that Tyron's going to just take him to the ground. He can't. He's going to have to hold on until the referee says, you know what, you guys got to split up, no more, and until he, separates them. So we got to give credit where credit's due. It is Jake Paul, but Jake does have better hands than Tyron. If you're coming at me and say, hey, if he's coming, look, where I'm getting from, no, you can't compare his 2 fights against Nate Robertson and Ben Askren. Those are 2 people that, yeah, of course, he didn't even look great, because a bad fighter can make you look horrible. But I'm just going by what I see versus when he does box someone, he's actually boxing with another boxer. That's what I'm comparing Jake Paul.
Footage.
Yeah, his training footage. If he was to fight somebody who was calm and collective and actually box, then we'll be able to see what Jake Paul really brings to the table. But we haven't seen that, because a bad fighter does make you look bad. And I would say this again, when Shane Mosley fought Mayorga came in like a dog fighting inside the pocket, that you forgot that Shane Mosley was a world champion, looking straight crazy. Yeah. And he looked crazy for the first 4 or 5 rounds until Shane Mosley calmed down and you know, was able to box him.
Okay.
So that's what I'm comparing it.
And I completely understand that. Although I still question the legitimacy of Jake Paul's experience. We know Tyron Woodley has trained boxing for several years. He's never been in a professional fight, but I wouldn't say Jake Paul has either, because that was Ben Askren and Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson ran at him like a dog running after a toy, like just full speed, chin wide open, hands almost. He almost left his hands in the corner. Looked like my boy left his hands in the corner. Ran full speed at him.
That's right. Hold on. He just said F this.
Yeah.
He go hold my hands while I go run across.
And it's crazy because like in all the build up, my boy was like, I'm an athlete. You've never been in there with an athlete. I'm an athlete. Like he like athleticism is gonna win him the fight. And what did he do? He started off in a full sprint. That's how you get knocked out.
He used the momentum of his own. He knocked his own self down like he just ran into a wall.
If Jake just kept moving out of the way, he probably would have been knocked out by no strikes thrown, 3rd round. Anyway, what I'm saying is the experience that Jake gained from beating up on Nate Robinson, and I will give him credit, he did sleep him, and beating up on Ben Askren, who never put his hands up or moved his feet at all either. I just don't feel like it's more legitimate than the several years.
I get what you're saying, because Tyron Woodley is a better fighter than Ben and Nate Robinson. He is a better fighter. But what I'm going to say is I'm still going to take Jake Paul. I mean, that's a bet that you and I can make. But I am going to take Jake Paul. Now, if we're talking about someone like Cain Velasquez, okay? He has great hands. Who else has great hands in the UFC? But these are heavyweight fighters. Of course, he's not going to fight them. But if they were to bring Cain Velasquez against Jake Paul, I'm like, hell yeah. I think Cain will sleep Jake Paul.
Real quickly.
Yeah. But I'm literally going by people that actually have great boxing hands in MMA. There's not a lot, but there are a few, and Tyron Woodley ain't one of them. That's all I'm saying. And that's why we having this conversation right here. But I'm saying, if there were some fighters like, okay, look, for instance, Anderson Silva versus Chavez. Oh my God.
Giant L for the boxing community.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying is there's only a handful of people that you can say, hey, he can come to boxing and really box. And all I'm saying is, and why we having this conversation right now, Tyron ain't one of them.
I mean, let's be honest. Come on, Lisa. Let's be real honest here.
Okay, so hold on. I got someone who's saying his speed, his composure, his striking, his experience, his explosiveness. I get that. I get that if we were talking about MMA, but we're not talking about MMA. We have not seen
things to MMA. I mean, to boxing. Huh? They're gonna. It's different, but he has those tools. They're not gonna be as effective in boxing, maybe, but he still has those tools. Like, he not just about to be in there wet behind the ears. My boy has trained plenty of years of straight boxing gloves, I'm sure, in the training. Of
course. I mean, you use boxing gloves. You don't go out there wearing 4-ounce. I mean, there are some people who do wear the 4-ounce gloves to train, but 9 out of 10 you're wearing boxing gloves, but you're not doing straight boxing, because you're actually doing striking, which is, kicks are involved and maybe some takedowns or whatever. But straight boxing, I don't know. I got to see Tyron in his training. That's all I'm saying. And no one from the boxing community that follows Global Fight Talk is gonna go with Tyron Woodley.
I don't think so. I guess not. Okay, so answer me this though. So obviously he ain't nowhere near Floyd, and his style ain't nowhere near Floyd. But you don't think Floyd Floyd's influence on his game is go be a factor at all.
Look, when is this fight again?
Next month, I think.
Okay, so if he hasn't been training with Floyd Mayweather,
I'm sure he has,
for some months, for some years, there's not going to be any effect. If he's only been training with Mayweather for a month, there's really not going to be any type of real changes in his game. It's just not, because you're always going to go by what you've been training, how you've been training. As soon as you get hit, you finna go back to how you used to fight. You're going to be in survival mode. That's all I'm saying. Now, I mean, Tyron is a tough dude. I wish him all the best of luck, but I'm gonna have to go. My pick for this one is gonna be Jake Paul. Until they give him someone that could really, really, really box, from the MMA world, then we can have this conversation. But Tyron training with Mayweather is not gonna up his boxing game.
Yeah, I mean, that's okay. That's all right. You know what I'm saying? Even if it happened, it happened. Because, man, my boy Anderson Silva already put on for the MMA world. So it's straight. It's all right. It's cool. My boy Anderson Silva beat Junior so bad. And whoever scored that fight for Junior need to be ashamed of themselves. Like I put in the comments. Because that wasn't even close. Boy got whooped. Anyway. So I'll go with my boy Tyron Woodley. You go with the little boy, Paul Jake, whatever his name is.
Okay. Paul Jake. Hey, but hold on. We finna change this right quick. If you was a betting man and you had $1,000 that could clean out your bank account right now,
I put it on the under.
Hold on. Who would you put your money towards, Jake or Tyron?
$1,000.
Whatever money you had in your account, whatever you had left, and it's during rents, you about to pay your rents or your car payment, and you wanted to bet your last money, your last dollar, who would you put it on?
I will put it on Tyron Woodley because, and here's
Say, don't be prideful. Don't be prideful. You know they say what they say when you're prideful.
listen. And that's what it is. It's pride right there. That's what it is. If I put $1,000 that Jake Paul would beat Tyron Woodley, and Tyron Woodley go out there and sleep him, and I'm out of $1,000 now because I thought this YouTuber was going to knock my boy Tyron Woodley out, that would be way more painful. I'd be sick. I'd be embarrassed.
All right. Well, it's safe to say I'm going for Jake. You're going for Tyron. And after the fight, we'll come back and do YouTube. We'll do a live, and one of us will be crying.
Okay. All right. I don't like how you said one of us.
It ain't gonna be me. My eyes gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry.
I'm
gonna be real dry.
My boy Tyron Woodley right now. I don't even know him like that. All right. Well.
All right, you guys who tuned in, thanks for watching, and always thank you for rocking with us. I know the boxing community ain't really into Jake Paul, but we all know Jake finna win. And we out.